4:08 on your Monday.
Ooh, the first hour's down, babe.
JT and Leanne in for the irreplaceable Greg Boudel. Trying to hold down the fort while he's gone.
Oh, that was good. I'm impressed. That was so good.
Well, quite frankly, I'm out of Christmas music because I can't find the rest. So I'm like, hey, Beyonce, irreplaceable. That works.
I love it. I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in studio with us here this afternoon, a good friend of mine who knows us from way back when. Long time ago, our good friend Mark Montiel. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. And I was up here one time. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Yes, we knew that. Yes.
I saw Rick on the way in. Mm-hmm. You know, you can tell who owns the company. He's at work today.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. And that's one of the cool things about local radio is your owner is right here. You know, and that's what Blue Water Broadcasting is local radio.
Exactly.
Where everybody knows everybody. It's not some stiffs in another town, another state.
We're not a slave to Wall Street.
That's right.
We're all about Main Street.
That's right.
And he called y'all kids, too. He said, be good to the kids up there, you know. So, hey, anytime you can be called a kid.
Hey, I'll take it.
I think we're some of the youngest ones in the building, so hey, you know.
I do think so.
I told him, I said, we're not going anywhere, and we plan on being around for a little while. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
Here we are.
Miss Greg, the Iron Man of radio. Nobody does it as much live radio as he does, maybe in the country.
A great job. He really does. Yeah, I'm glad he's on vacation chilling.
Yes, he needs a break, and we are so honored to be filling in for him. And so when I got to thinking about what will we do, what could we talk about, who could we bring in, one of the first names, no kidding, that popped up in my head was Mark Montiel.
He said, he'll come in and talk.
Were you in trouble or something?
I do not need to retain your services right now, so that's good.
That's good.
Thank goodness.
But for a long time, for years, Mark worked right across the hall from us, and we just became good friends, and you're a very smart guy. You're a knowledgeable guy. You know what's going on behind the Iron Curtain here in Montgomery. So how you been?
I've been fine, just working all the time. But y'all are two of my dearest friends. But you do become friends with the people on the air on different stations.
Sure.
When you come in, we come in the morning. They were already at work, so they've been there. And JT, you say I want Mark Montiel hours. You're always leaving early. Rosa, you get this, don't you? I mean,
yes,
I kind of left and went to another job, but been doing fine. Was working on a case today. Won't comment on it, but it got worked out. So
well, good.
That's good news for the people involved.
Yes, absolutely. And I love seeing your Facebook posts about your puppies and your grandbabies. And
I think that's another thing that I really enjoy talking to you about and admire is that you are so into your grandkids, your pets. I'm like, man, that's me and Leanne. That's our life. That's our life, you know?
Well, it's life in general.
That's right.
And you had on one of my favorite people a few moments ago, my life coach, too. Mm-hmm. And that's how y'all met her, you know. But Boo Archer is a delight and somebody that's often that saved my own life, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, she helped me understand things and deal with things I need to deal with at what I call a life storm in life, but I can't complain. Life is good, and I'm a happy man. So
now, how is your daughter?
She is at LSU.
Nice.
She's in her third year. She got elected officer in the Tri-Delt sorority, and she's honored made straight A's this semester. She interned in Washington, got the job on her own last summer for Bradley Byrne, and she's putting in for some this summer. So interned for John McMillan in Montgomery in the treasurer's office.
Wow.
So she's on her way, but she's doing very well.
Wonderful. I'm so good.
I have others. You know, I have older Frazier, who's a mother here in town. She's a teacher at the academy, and she's the mother of two of my grandkids. And then Mark is a lawyer in New Orleans. And,
yes, my
I've
goodness.
seen you've spent a lot of time in New Orleans lately. Leanne and I were just there like 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Man, no doubt.
It is. It's a fun place. My goodness, Bourbon Street is always just.
Well, that's its own entity, okay?
But New Orleans has a lot of history.
It really does.
I mean, just a beautiful city, even if you don't go to Bourbon Street.
And one thing I never thought I was going to enjoy, but last time we went to New Orleans, we did. Leanne talked me into going to a cooking class.
I saw those.
To learn how to really cook like Cajun style, like Louisiana Cajun style.
Can you make gumbo now?
Yes, he can.
I don't know if I can do the roux. The roux was complicated.
Yeah,
that's the whole project.
That's the
I can boil, peel, and add the shrimp. That's what I can do.
Okay.
And a little dash of seasoning.
So I have the roux duty, huh?
But let me tell you about this. We went to this class, and it was in somebody's like home business kitchen, and there was like a dozen people in the class, and we spent from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 6 o'clock preparing shrimp etouffee.
And drinking wine the whole time.
Seafood gumbo, of course, drinking wine the whole time. Hello.
Yeah.
We
were
key lime
driving.
pie.
Oh, yeah. The key lime pie was...
From scratch. I mean, everything from scratch.
So how much of it have you made since you got home?
So I am going out of my comfort zone.
Funny you
and
should
for
ask, Mark.
Christmas, I am going to attempt to make the key lime pie from scratch.
Yes.
What, you'll make a mess all over the kitchen. Get ready.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Nobody's
I know.
back
Clean
up.
it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a Winn-Dixie pie as backup. That's right.
is the backup. Yes, definitely.
Well, so now y'all are cooks to go with all of your careers. You got radio shows going again up here at Blue Water.
Yeah.
Filling in for Greg.
It takes two of us to fill in for Greg.
It really does. Trust me.
At least two. Rosie's here, too.
Yes.
Remember,
we couldn't do it without Rosie.
I answer the phones.
Yeah.
And you're doing a great job, by the way. Thank you.
But life is just good for all of us.
It is. It
We're
really
blessed.
is.
We're
I cannot
truly
complain.
blessed.
I know y'all just about tell it all about each other on there, but I thought it'd be fun for the audience, Rose, to maybe ask them a couple of questions like, so what does JT do that irritates you, Leanne?
He leaves his wet towels on my side of the bed.
Well, I could answer that for you, yeah.
Now, okay, that.
Wait. On the side of the bed?
My side, like on top of the bed.
Why is the wet towel on the bed? Or do I need to leave all the...
Leave that alone.
Yeah.
Would you like to know how many towels he goes through a day?
Well, he's clean. That's
I'm a
good.
clean guy.
He's the
I take like
cleanest.
3 or 4 showers
He's
a day.
the cleanest man I know of.
And JT handled this question appropriately. Leanne really doesn't do anything that irritates you, does she?
I'll tell you what, Leanne is the most awesome wife ever, Mark, and you know I'm not just saying that. You and I have talked about this before, and I'm like, I'm just a lucky guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can screw up time and time again.
And
There won't be any more wet
time
towels
again.
on the bed.
There will
No,
not be.
Yes, there will be.
That's my New Year's resolution
okay.
to drop 20 pounds and quit putting wet towels on Leanne's side of the bed.
If you're going to
would
put
be
a wet
wise.
towel on the bed, put it on your side.
Our granddaughter, Adeline, has changed our life.
I have loved every post and every picture of that beautiful little girl. She is just precious. But they always say grandchildren are the biggest blessing.
Oh, yeah.
We shouldn't say that in front of our kids.
No, but they are. I mean, everyone, is like, oh, wait till you have grandkids. I'm like, I love my kids. My kids are my whole world.
Grandkids are easier.
Grandkids are easier and better. Oh.
And y'all are young grandparents.
We are.
Yes.
So we're getting this done early, and I love hanging out with her. I love putting her on my Facebook post because I get like 300 likes in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, Adeline, you're a social media star.
If they have any more space on Facebook, you've got to go see this beautiful granddaughter because she is a gorgeous girl.
She is the light of our life. She's so much fun, and she is headstrong. She's going to be just like her mama.
No doubt about that.
And I have 3 now. I have 3 granddaughters. So
Yeah.
maybe Helen down in New Orleans, and then I have 2 here, Ann Lucille and Mary Wells.
Now, how old are they?
Ann Lucille will be going to kindergarten, so she must be 5. Do I have it right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 are 10 days apart. They were born April 27th and then May the 10th, I think, whatever it is, last year. So they're, 7 or 8 months?
Yep, 7 months.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever it is now. That's not more than 7
fun.
months, but I should know these things. And don't.
Twins?
No, 2 different. My daughter and my son both had babies 10 days apart.
Oh, my
Isn't
gosh.
that awesome?
Yes.
Mark had his was older by 10 days, but they're obviously having a lot of fun together.
Oh,
So.
yes. Oh, that is wonderful. Babies just bring everybody together. Babies make everything better.
I got Adeline working on pop pop. She's almost got it down. I can hear it. That's going to be her first or second word, pop pop. So she's
Right behind Mickey.
just awesome. Right behind Mickey. I'm telling you, Mark, I have watched more Mickey Mouse Clubhouse
It's the Mickey
than I've ever
Mouse
seen
Clubhouse.
in my entire
Come
life.
inside. It's fun inside.
It's better than watching the news these days.
got that
I would
right.
rather watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. You're right, yeah.
I will say this: when Leanne posts something politically, she's to the right of me somewhere. She's pretty tough out there with this stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought I was fine, but you used to kiss up to the mayor all the time. Why didn't you ask
I didn't
the
kiss
former
up
mayor?
to
any
the
questions?
mayor. No.
Todd Strange would come on the air with Leanne
He's just nice.
JT, and they talk about a great job. Then he'd go over to my studio and I'd hammer him
He
for
get
an hour.
beat up. You know, here's the bottom line, especially coming up close to Christmas. You know, this is not a holiday that was invented by the greeting card companies. This
No.
is Jesus Christ's birthday.
That's right.
In 2 days.
And a lot of it comes, you get older, you get more reflective about things.
Yes.
You go through more life storms in life.
Sure.
And I don't know if you remember, but when I started doing the 3rd hour over at the other radio company, and I was doing a morning hour, I said, well, look, if I'm going to do a 6 o'clock hour, I'm already doing kind of my prayer time. So the first hour of the show I used to do before I left over there, I just started talking about life. I'd open up the microphone, talk, and have a conversation with the audience. 7 o'clock, I would kick back into news and beat the hell out of politicians, you know. But it's not, I talk about my faith openly. It's not because I'm not flawed, because I'm very flawed.
We all are.
I mean,
I'm probably more flawed than most, but although JT would be in competition with
JT's
me, yeah.
definitely taking the cake.
we're
and
running
I'm
neck
just
and neck.
kidding.
Hey,
Kidding.
nobody's perfect.
no.
I'll tell you one reason I talk about it on Facebook, though. This is when I went through one of my life storms, and there'll be more. I'm healthy and everything seems to be going good right now, but they're coming. We all know that.
Again, things can change, and none of us is promised
everybody's
tomorrow.
life. And I deal with clients that have problems, it's financial problems, and marital problems, what have you, health issues, they've been in a wreck, whatever it could be. They don't come to lawyers generally because everything's going well. But I had hundreds of people reach out to me in different ways when I went through my last life storm.
Sure.
People of all walks of life, people y'all would know, they did it privately, they would message, they'd communicate by text, whatever, if they have my cell number. And it was a remarkable part of the journey. So I try to remember that now, and I will sometimes I enjoy it. So if you see me on Facebook a lot, I'm not doing it I don't want to read the political crap. I really don't. It's all propaganda being put out by one side or the other. But it's where I learned about somebody's going through a cancer. It's why Greg loves the radio too, isn't it, Rosie and JT and Leanne? You can be in touch with people. That's the part of radio I miss the most, probably, is kind of the contact with the world. I don't socialize a lot. I'm more comfortable with a microphone than I am with like a setting where you're out shaking hands and doing
no doubt.
It's that introvert extrovert.
I was going to say it's really weird how a lot of radio people are introverted. Everybody thinks, you love being out there, but we love being in a room with a microphone and nobody else around.
If I go to a big event, I'll talk to the same 4 people all night.
Yes, and then I'm ready to leave after about 10 minutes. I am an introvert. I do not like crowds, do not like groups, all that. You just have to be very careful.
So these 2 people sitting across from me are 2 of the people who reached out to me a lot. And I share that on the air. JT and Leanne, morning time. Leanne being a sister figure. She's at that age where she can talk to me about those things. And we
kind of give you some insight sometimes.
Into girls, for example. I have 2 daughters and a son. And JT and I would talk about all sorts of issues in life. But these are real people that have had real issues, and everybody has.
Of course. And you have to go back to faith. You have to have faith, and you have to have a relationship with God.
And, one of the things I really like about the Highlands, we mentioned that, is their mission statement. And I think this is crossing denomination and belief borders, and it's real generic, but it's a really good mission statement. Know God, find your purpose, make a difference. If you can do those 3 things, you are ahead of the game, my friend.
And people from all walks of life. One of the things I used to do doing the political talk show, people call in. I had an audience that was black and white, Republican and Democrat.
Sure.
They'd listen to me even though they didn't agree, because I was usually wearing a politician out from one side or the other. But I would remind them when it ever got racial on the show. I'd say, hey, wait. Do you really believe? And do you really believe in this stuff we talk about with our Lord? And yeah, I said, well, we're all related. Don't talk about your cousin like that.
Yeah.